The honest woodcutter.
Once upon a time, in a small village near a forest, there lived a poor but hardworking woodcutter. Every day, he would go into the woods with his axe, chopped firewood, and sell it in the market. Though he earned just enough to buy food for his family, he was content and never complained. One bright morning, the woodcutter walked to the riverbank to chop wood. The trees there were tall and strong, and he thought the logs would fetch a good price. He raised his axe to begin his work but slipped. His hands lost their grip, and the axe tumbled into the rushing river. "Oh no!" cried the woodcutter. He peered into the water, but the river was deep and the current was strong. That axe was his only tool, and without it, he could not earn a living. He sat on the bank, buried his face in his hands, and wept. The river goddess appears. Suddenly, the water began to shimmer, and a beautiful goddess rose from the river. Her gown sparkled like waves in the sunlight, and her voice was gentle as she asked, "Why do you cry, good man?" The woodcutter bowed respectfully and told her the truth. "I am a poor woodcutter, and my only axe slipped from my hands into the river. Without it, I cannot work, and my family will go hungry." The goddess smiled kindly. "Do not worry, I will help you." She disappeared beneath the water and soon returned, holding in her hand a shining axe of pure gold. The blade glittered, and the handle sparkled with jewels. "Is this the axe you lost?" she asked. The woodcutter shook his head at once. "No, kind goddess, that is not my axe. Mine was old and made of plain iron. I could never own such a splendid tool." The goddess nodded, sank into the water again, and rose with another axe. This one was made of silver, gleaming bright and beautiful. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Again, the woodcutter said honestly, "No, that is not mine either. My axe was simple and ordinary." The goddess smiled and vanished once more. This time, she returned with a plain iron axe, worn but sturdy, the very one the woodcutter had lost. "Is this your axe?" she asked. The woodcutter's face lit up with joy. "Yes, that is my axe. Thank you, kind goddess, for bringing it back to me. The reward for honesty." The goddess was pleased. "You have been truthful and honest, though you could have claimed the golden or silver axe as your own. Because of your honesty, I will reward you." She handed him not only his old iron axe, but also the golden and silver ones. "Take all three, for an honest heart deserves a rich reward." The woodcutter bowed deeply. "Thank you, gracious goddess. I will never forget your kindness." He went home with the three axes, sold the golden and silver ones for enough money to live comfortably, and continued working with his old iron axe whenever he wished. The greedy neighbor. Now, in the same village lived another woodcutter who was lazy and greedy. When he heard the story of how the river goddess had rewarded his neighbor, he thought, "If I drop my axe into the river, I too will be given golden and silver ones." The very next morning, he marched to the riverbank and deliberately threw his axe into the water. He sat down and pretended to cry loudly, waiting for the goddess. Sure enough, the river goddess appeared. "Why do you weep, good man?" she asked. The greedy woodcutter said, "Oh, I dropped my only axe into the river. Please help me." The goddess sank into the water and rose with a shining golden axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. The greedy man's eyes gleamed. Without hesitation, he shouted, "Yes, yes, that is mine." But the goddess frowned. "You lie? That axe is not yours." With a wave of her hand, she vanished, taking the golden axe, the silver axe, and even the man's ordinary iron axe with her. The greedy woodcutter was left with nothing at all. The lesson? From that day on, the villagers often repeated the story of the honest woodcutter. They taught their children, honesty is always rewarded, but greed and lies will lead only to loss. And the honest woodcutter, who had spoken the truth even when he could have gained more, lived happily ever after with his family, never wanting for anything again. Moral of the story: honesty may not always seem easy, but it brings blessings and rewards in the end, while lies and greed bring only trouble.